Created by Mark Grunwald and Paul Neary, John Walker, aka the U.S. Agent, is a character who is willing to do what he believes is right by any means necessary. As a child, he adored his older brother, who was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, who died, and he wanted to become a hero just like him. But after finding no glory in enlisting in the military, Walker turned to other avenues which would lead him down his eventual path to becoming the U.S. Agent. First appearing in Captain America number 323 in 1986, John receives his powers from a mysterious person in an attempt to become like his brother, and becomes the character Super Patriot, a hero who travels the country promoting himself. After staging an attack during one of his rallies, Captain America confronts Walker and tells him to stop staging assaults as it could lead to people getting hurt. But after not being able to reach an agreement, Walker attacks Captain America and the two have a fight that ends in a draw. However, Walker lands a sneaky attack that barely hits Cap and claims to be the winner. This fight sets doubt into Cap's head, as he's unsure now whether or not he's still worthy to be Captain America. After stopping a terrorist attack, Walker becomes an instant celebrity. Walker's next notable appearance was in Captain America number 333, where after searching for a new person to take up the role of Captain America, after Steve Rogers steps down, the government ultimately decides to have Walker abandon the role of Super Patriot and become the new Captain America. As Captain America, Walker becomes a more violent version of the hero, as he constantly loses control of his emotions, causing him to critically wound and even kill criminals and villains. Walker also gets his own version of Bucky, as he teams up with a man named Lamar Hoskins, who becomes the new Bucky, but changes his name to Battlestar. Steve Rogers eventually returns to the comics, wearing a very familiar costume that you're going to get quite accustomed to in the coming issues. After Steve returns, though, he helps Walker defeat the Red Skull, and after the battle, Walker convinces Rogers to take up the mantle, and the government fakes Walker's death, and sets him up with a new identity, while also hypnotizing him into believing that he's a completely different person. However, in Captain America number 354, Walker returns as a new character named the U.S. Agent, a character who the government quickly inserts into the West Coast Avengers. Walker constantly butted heads with members of the West Coast Avengers, which ultimately accumulated into a battle between him and Hawkeye, which saw the both of them be removed from the team. Walker would have several interactions with other characters in the following issues, such as fighting alongside the Punisher and almost killing former teammate Spider-Woman, as well as constantly being an on and off again member of the West Coast Avengers. Walker would also receive his first miniseries in 1993, where he's reunited with his long-dead brother, who now works for a criminal group known as Scourge. His brother invites him to join the group, but after a while, Walker discovers that this man isn't his brother, and is actually the villain known as Bloodstain. The two battle on a number of occasions, which ultimately ends with Bloodstain being taken out by his own bullets that bounced off of Walker's shield. After all of this, Walker becomes an important figure in Marvel Comics at the time, having been in events such as Infinity War and Blood Ties. But soon after, the West Coast Avengers would go on to dissolve, and Walker after would appear in a new miniseries in 2001, in which he rejoins the Commission and battles to arrest rogue superhumans in a group called STARS. In this run, Walker gets a new outfit after discarding his old one, making him look more like a riot-control police officer, complete with a new shield and a stun rod. In this run, Earth becomes a planet made up entirely of a prison, and Walker is selected to lead a group of superheroes in order to make sure that they don't grow sympathy towards the prisoners and instead focus on doing what's right for Earth. After this run, Walker would go on to make cameo appearances in comics such as Civil War, Heroes Return, Secret Empire, and the recently released Devil's Reign, just to name a few. He would also join multiple different groups in his time as well, such as the Thunderbolts, the Dark Avengers, the Invaders, and Omega Flight. In 2016, Walker makes an appearance in Sam Wilson Captain America number 13, which took place during the Civil War II storyline. In this story, Walker is ordered to ask Sam to stand down and surrender the shield. Sam refuses and the two get into a fight, which Sam ultimately gets the upper hand and wins the fight. But Walker put up a good fight, which led Sam to use some clever tactics to ultimately get the upper hand on the stronger Walker. Now it's important to note that Walker originally did not want to fight Sam Wilson, as he respected Steve's decision to have Wilson replace him as Captain America. However, after an evil Steve Rogers convinces Walker to go and fight him, he does. After the fight with Sam Wilson, things would stay quiet for Walker until he received a miniseries of his own in 2020 called John Walker, the U.S. Agent. This run focuses on Walker after he's fired from the government and now works as a hero of hire for sorts. I don't want to dive into this run too much, as I would like to cover the complete comic in a later video, but the run focuses on Walker investigating a destroyed secret facility and accumulates with Walker facing off against a new U.S. agent as well as fighting a kaiju. This run also sees the return of Walker's old partner, Battlestar. In 2021, Walker would appear once again in Devil's Reign, where Kingpin selects Walker as the leader of the new Thunderbolts, as Walker vows to make sure that the criminals on the team remain in line. This run sees Walker and the Thunderbolts face off against teams such as the Avengers, the X-Men, and get a rematch with his old partner, Hawkeye, as Hawkeye leads the team of the Thunderbolts made by Luke Cage. U.S.Agent was created after the assumption was made that people wanted a more ruthless and violent version of Captain America, after the success of Captain America number 321, which depicted Cap firing a gun. Not wanting the character of Captain America to change drastically, the decision was made to have someone new take over the mantle of Captain America, after the success of rebranding Iron Man as well. Some readers stated that Walker was their Captain America, and that they preferred him over Steve Rogers, as he was an exciting version of the character, and they never knew what he would do next, as he had violent tendencies. Of course, the decision was made to have Steve return as Captain America, but Walker was kept as the U.S. Agent, appeasing both sides of the debate. U.S. Agent has had some exceptional rivalries, such as Captain America, Hawkeye, and Sam Wilson, but as for villains, the only notable characters that he's fought are Bloodstorm, the new U.S. Agent, and Red Skull, not including the villains that he faced while on teams. In video games, however, his appearances are very rare. He appeared as a secret character in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, as well as appearing as an assist character in Marvel vs. Capcom. He also appeared in games such as Marvel's Ultimate Alliance and Marvel Heroes as a costume for Captain America, as well as also being in the mobile game Marvel Strike Force. On another note, U.S. Agent has recently debuted in the MCU in the show Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and will appear in the Thunderbolts movie releasing sometime in the future, being played by Wyatt Russell. In the MCU, Walker is selected to be the replacement for Steve Rogers after the events of Avengers Endgame. Walker is also paired up with his good friend and longtime comic partner Battlestar. However, Battlestar is killed in action, and this causes Walker to go on a rampage, killing an enemy soldier while they're surrendering. This results in Walker being stripped of the role of Captain America. Walker is then recruited to become the U.S. Agent, which will most likely lead into his role in the Thunderbolts movie coming out sometime in the future. The future for U.S. Agent seems bright, considering the fact that he is now a part of the MCU, for better or for worse, and recently received his own miniseries. I believe that there will always be a place in comics and media for him, based off the success of antithesis characters such as the Batman Who Laughs and Injustice Superman. And with the success of shows like The Boys and Invincible, the craving for darker, more violent comic media will still exist for the immediate future. So only time will tell on whether or not John Walker will become a household name or not, but with him being in the MCU, that's no longer a guarantee. U.S. Agent has always been a personal favorite of mine, so no matter what the future holds for him, he'll always have a fan base, and at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. John Walker went from being a quick replacement for Captain America to becoming his own character, a character that sees justice in his own way and tries to enact that form of justice, while constantly being conflicted with the duty of trying to live up to his hero, Captain America. And that is a wrap on our video diving into the character of U.S. Agent. This was a lot of fun to make. I actually really enjoyed going over and looking through the history of the character, things that I didn't exactly know and things that I knew quite a bit. It was fun. I do have a couple more videos like this coming out. I want to focus on more obscure characters and not like characters like Batman or like Iron Man or stuff. I want people to discover new comic book characters that they wouldn't normally find on their own, and characters that don't really get a lot of attention. This was my first video being done like this, and I really like your feedback, so let me know what you liked about the video, let me know what you didn't like about the video and what you think I could change. Let me know what you like about U.S. Agent, if you've liked him for a while and if you liked how he was in the MCU, and let me know what you don't like about him, let me know what you would like for them to change about him. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry if I'm dragging this on for a bit, and I'm sorry if I'm like stuttering a lot. I had a whole script for this video, and it's really hard for me to talk without a script after, being accustomed to talking with a script. But anyways, yeah, I really wanted to just start this channel so that the love for comic books could get out there. Because I don't want to imagine a future where they're not around anymore. And I know they're not as popular of a source of media as they used to be. So even if people aren't buying comic books, I still want them to be familiar with the characters. And I want them to be able to live through the characters, and I want them to be able to experience the characters, even if they're not going to buy comic books, which I highly recommend you do, because I would like this source of media to stay alive for a long time, so that people for the foreseeable future can, be invested in the comics. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not talking off the script anymore. Once again, I'm just talking to you from the heart, because that's all I really want. And yeah, before I get into another rambling video, let me just end the video here. I have some more videos coming out discussing characters, as well as discussing certain comic book stories. So I'll look forward to that, and I'll see y'all tomorrow or whenever the next video comes out. But anyways, peace and stay you.